There are moments when the sky refuses to stay silent, when strange lights cut through the darkness, moving in ways no human craft can. From deserts to volcanoes, from icy peaks to deep oceans, witnesses have seen things they cannot explain. Are these just stories or fragments of a hidden truth? Here on X-Site, we dive into the mysteries they don't want you to know. Prepare yourself, because what you're about to see may change the way you look at the world above you. High above the valleys of Mexico, Popocatépetl stands like a silent titan, its snow-dusted peak crowned with a permanent veil of smoke. Locals call it El Popo, a living guardian that breathes fire. At night, the crater glows faintly red, as if the mountain hides a molten heart. For generations, villagers have whispered about strange lights circling its peak, silent orbs that appear without warning, hovering like watchful eyes. Most dismissed them as tricks of the light or the restless imagination of those living under a volcano's shadow. But everything changed on a cold November night in 2012. A government surveillance camera, stationed miles away to monitor volcanic activity, caught something extraordinary. As the volcano exhaled a column of ash into the sky, a massive cylindrical object, gleaming and smooth like polished steel, appeared from the clouds. It moved with deliberate grace, descending straight into the glowing crater below. It did not tumble like a falling rock, nor flicker like a meteor. It slowed, aligned itself perfectly with the mouth of the volcano, and slipped inside as though it belonged there. The footage aired on Mexican national television, sending shockwaves across the country. Scientists were called in to review the video. They replayed the moment again and again, searching for an explanation. Could it have been a meteor? A drone? A trick of the camera? But meteors do not slow down mid-flight. Drones cannot withstand the heat of a living volcano. From that night onward, Popocatépetl was no longer just a volcano. It became something else, an enigma wrapped in smoke and fire. And with each eruption since, more reports have surfaced. Witnesses describe glowing spheres, metallic shapes vanishing into the ash clouds, and shadows darting across the crater moments before an eruption. The volcano has become a stage for a mystery that refuses to be ignored, a place where the Earth's fury might be hiding something otherworldly. Popocatépetl is not alone. Around the world, other volcanoes tell the same story, an eerie pattern that stretches across continents and decades. In Italy, during Mount Etna's 2013 eruption, tourists gathered to watch nature's fury unfold. The ground trembled beneath their feet as glowing rivers of lava carved through the blackened slopes. But then, something unexpected appeared in the smoke. High above the fiery crater, a cluster of glowing orbs hovered in perfect formation. They moved slowly, silently, like a school of luminous fish drifting through the dark sky. Witnesses, their hands shaking, pointed their cameras upward, capturing the strange lights as they darted and reformed into precise geometric shapes before vanishing into the night. The Italian media replayed the footage for weeks, and skeptics struggled to explain what these lights could be. In Japan, Sakurajima, one of the world's most closely monitored volcanoes, has its own share of mysteries. Cameras installed to track ash plumes have captured dark, craft-like shapes weaving through the boiling clouds. Some appear to accelerate faster than any aircraft, vanishing in the blink of an eye. Local fishermen, sailing near the volcanic shores, speak of seeing burning stars that dive into the sea after hovering above the mountain, as if the volcano and ocean share a secret highway. Even in the United States, whispers of similar phenomena exist. When Mount St. Helens erupted in 1980, military and geological observers reported mystery lights streaking across the sky, brighter than any helicopter, faster than any known jet. Years later, declassified documents hinted that these lights were not dismissed as natural phenomena, but quietly logged and filed under unresolved aerial events. From Iceland's snowbound volcanoes to Hawaii's sacred peaks, the same pattern repeats itself. Wherever the Earth's veins of fire run closest to the surface, strange objects appear as if drawn to the energy, like moths circling an eternal flame. These sightings defy borders, cultures, and explanations. It's as if the mountains themselves are communicating with something beyond human understanding, leaving us to wonder if we are merely spectators to a hidden dance between the planet and the unknown. Before modern cameras and satellites, ancient civilizations looked at volcanoes and saw more than fire and rock. They saw living gods. To the Aztecs, Popocatépetl was not just a mountain but a warrior spirit, a guardian who watched over the land. They believed that each eruption was the god's breath of anger or sorrow. Local legends tell of a love story between Popocatépetl and Iztaccíhuatl, two immortal souls trapped as mountains, their fiery hearts still burning under the surface. In Hawaii, the people spoke of Pele, the goddess of fire who could appear as a glowing woman with long flowing hair, wandering near eruptions. Witnesses believed that if you saw her before an eruption, it was not a curse but a warning, a call to respect the power that slumbered beneath the earth. Across the Pacific, in Japan, Sakurajima's constant eruptions were tied to spirits of fire. Fishermen claimed to see ghostly lights over the crater long before the age of electricity, glowing like lanterns in the night sky. These lights were recorded in temple scrolls, described as messengers from the heavens. Could these stories be echoes of what we see today? Could the glowing orbs and metallic shadows now caught on camera be the same gods or messengers that our ancestors spoke of? Perhaps what they called divine, we now call alien. The line between myth and reality blurs, and every new sighting feels less like coincidence and more like a forgotten memory resurfacing. With technology watching the skies 24/7, modern volcanoes have become laboratories of the unexplained. Cameras placed to monitor seismic activity have accidentally captured events that defy logic, shapes and movements that cannot be dismissed as weather, ash, or tricks of light. In 2015, the Colima volcano in Mexico erupted with a fury that lit up the night sky. Amid the chaos, something strange appeared in the footage. A glowing disk hovered near the eruption, steady and silent, unaffected by the violent blasts of ash and lightning. Observers at first assumed it was a drone, but experts quickly ruled this out. No known drone could withstand the heat or turbulence of an active volcano. What's more, the object moved with purpose, circling the eruption as though studying it. In Iceland, during the 2021 eruption of Fagradalsfjall, pilots flying nearby reported seeing metallic objects moving through the ash clouds at speeds no aircraft could achieve. The footage, captured by multiple cameras, showed faint flashes of silver darting through the haze, objects that accelerated and changed direction instantaneously. Scientists were hesitant to give answers. Some speculated that these sightings might be advanced weather monitoring devices, but no official program exists for such technology. Others wondered if what we were seeing was something far beyond our current understanding of engineering. Every time a new eruption occurs, researchers now pay close attention to what happens in the skies above. It's no longer just the power of the Earth they're watching, but the possibility that something else is watching too. Far from the eyes of scientists and cameras, the people living in the shadow of volcanoes have their own stories. Whispers passed from generation to generation, now spoken aloud with trembling voices. These witnesses do not carry scientific instruments. They carry memory and fear. One cold evening in 2017, a fisherman named Hiroshi anchored his small boat near the volcanic island of Sakurajima, Japan. The mountain stood against the dark sky, breathing smoke as if the earth itself was alive. Suddenly, a bright orb appeared above the crater. At first, Hiroshi thought it was a flare from a distant ship, but the light moved with impossible precision. It glided smoothly over the fiery mouth of the volcano, paused for a moment as though scanning the land below, and then, with a sudden flash, plunged into the crater. Seconds later, the mountain erupted violently, as if reacting to its uninvited guest. Hiroshi still recalls that moment with wide eyes, whispering, "It was not of this world." In Mexico, a farmer named Alejandro lives in the fertile valleys near Popocatépetl. He remembers waking up one night to an unnatural silence. Even the dogs were quiet. When he stepped outside, he saw a glowing cylinder, enormous and metallic, hovering over the volcano's peak. It rotated slowly, humming with a deep, resonant vibration. Alejandro watched, frozen, as the object tilted and then descended into the volcano, vanishing without a sound. Minutes later, the mountain shook with a small eruption, sending a red plume into the night. "It wasn't a dream," Alejandro insists. "I could feel it in my bones." Stories like these appear from all corners of the world. Hikers in Italy claim to have seen glowing spheres circle Mount Etna before it erupted. Pilots flying over Iceland report metallic flashes moving beneath the ash clouds. These people have no reason to lie, and their accounts share the same details. Silent, glowing shapes, metallic surfaces reflecting firelight, and movements that defy logic. Despite the mounting evidence, official responses are rare and often evasive. Governments monitor volcanoes obsessively, using satellites, drones, and ground cameras. Yet when footage emerges showing mysterious objects near eruptions, silence follows. Some believe these objects are advanced experimental drones, machines that belong to powerful nations, designed to survive extreme environments. But this theory collapses when experts are asked a simple question: what human technology could enter the core of an active volcano and remain intact? The silence is telling. In 1980, during the catastrophic eruption of Mount St. Helens in the United States, multiple reports mentioned bright aerial anomalies appearing before the explosion. Witnesses included not just civilians but military personnel. Declassified documents revealed that these lights were logged and analyzed but never explained. Official statements simply referred to unidentified phenomena and moved on. In Mexico, after the 2012 Popocatépetl incident, scientists requested an official investigation into the cylindrical object caught on live feed. Authorities dismissed the footage as optical illusions caused by ash and lighting conditions. But independent analysis found no evidence of video tampering. The object had a defined structure moving with precision. The question remains, why the silence? Some believe governments know far more than they admit. Others think these sightings are as much a mystery to the authorities as they are to us. If these objects are not human-made, acknowledging them would mean admitting that we are sharing this planet with something beyond our control. And perhaps that is the one truth governments are not ready to face. Among researchers who dare to explore the more unorthodox explanations, there is a theory that pushes the boundary between science and myth. Volcanoes might be portals. The Earth is a living, breathing entity, and volcanoes are its open wounds, places where unimaginable energy surges from the planet's core. Some theorists suggest that this energy could be used as a gateway, a kind of natural wormhole or dimensional rift. If an advanced civilization discovered how to harness this energy, volcanoes could serve as entrances or exits to hidden worlds, far beyond human comprehension. They point to the behavior of these unidentified objects as evidence. Why would a craft, capable of defying gravity and flying at speeds we cannot match, descend into a volcano of all places? It's not a safe landing site. It's chaos, fire, and destruction. Unless, of course, that chaos is exactly what they need. Some even claim that the objects are not merely visiting, but emerging from within. There are videos showing bright shapes rising out of volcanic craters moments before an eruption, as if they are using the event as a cover to slip through undetected. The idea may sound like something from science fiction, but even mainstream scientists acknowledge that Earth's crust hides vast networks of tunnels, lava tubes, and chambers we have barely begun to explore. Could these underground worlds hold something more than just molten rock? The most unsettling thought is this: if volcanoes are indeed portals, then whatever moves through them might not be limited to our planet, or even our dimension. Every eruption could be more than an explosion. It could be the signal of something coming or going unseen beneath the veil of fire. The mystery is not fading with time, it is growing. In recent years, sightings have increased and the footage has become harder to dismiss. In 2024, Mount Etna roared to life, painting the Italian sky with streaks of red and black. But amid the fiery clouds, witnesses captured something extraordinary: 3 blue orbs moving in a synchronized triangular pattern. They hovered for nearly a minute, unaffected by the roaring winds and ash, before vanishing upward with blinding speed. Experts who examined the footage agreed. It wasn't aircraft, it wasn't drones, and it wasn't lightning. Just months ago, in early 2025, Popocatépetl once again became the center of attention. A cylindrical object, nearly as long as a skyscraper is tall, was seen descending into the volcano's glowing throat. It was caught not by one, but by 3 separate cameras positioned miles apart. All captured the same event from different angles. News outlets played the footage endlessly, while social media exploded with theories ranging from alien bases to secret military tests. Volcanologists have admitted reluctantly that they have no explanation. "It's not a meteor," one scientist confessed in an interview, "and it's certainly not natural debris. We are looking at something we cannot categorize." Even more chilling are the eyewitness reports from those who live nearby. A group of night hikers near Popocatépetl described seeing glowing lines, like grids of light, inside the crater seconds before the object appeared. "It was as if the mountain had opened a door," one witness said, her voice trembling. From Iceland's icy volcanoes to Hawaii's sacred mountains, similar events are being reported. The pattern is undeniable. It's no longer a question of whether something is there. It's a question of what it is, and why it keeps returning to these ancient pillars of fire. The truth is out there, waiting in the shadows of our skies and the fire of our mountains. Every sighting, every story, every unanswered question brings us closer to understanding what hides beyond our world. What do you believe these lights are? Guardians? Travelers? Or something far stranger? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your theories. If this mystery intrigued you, subscribe to X-Site because the next revelation could be even more shocking. Until then, keep watching the skies, because they might be watching you.